you're using social media to grow your winery or your wine brand, then it's likely that you would like to be using your time wisely and making sure that your energy is being put forth to efforts that are actually going to render you results. So if you feel like perhaps social media is not really working for your business, then I'm here to guarantee that it definitely does work to blow up different wine brands all around the world. So I'm going to share with you guys today 10 mistakes that I see wineries making when it comes to their social media. Perhaps one of these mistakes is something that you are making too. After working with numerous different wineries and wine brands all around the world, a key thing that I do every single week is I research. I spend a lot of time researching what other brands are doing, seeing what's working, seeing what's not, so I make sure that I can give my clients the best possible services. And within that research, I have compiled a list of mistakes that wineries are making, so here are my top 10. Number 1 might shock you, and that is that brands in general are not posting enough content. They are spending too much time making content look pretty and working on the branding and making sure that the logo is in the right place of the graphic. And while that might work for advertising, that is just not social media practice. Time and the energy that marketing teams are putting into creating one social post, they could be creating probably about 10 or even 15. And the funny thing about social media is that you don't typically know what is going to go well and what is not going to go well. Yes, there are trends that you can analyze if you've been doing it for a very long time, but if you're new to it or it is not your expertise, then the best thing to do is to just post more content. You're gonna get the results back faster and you're gonna be analyzing what works or not a lot faster. Too many businesses are utilizing platforms like Instagram and Facebook, and the truth is that these days the lifespan of the content on those platforms is so short that unless you're posting, between 3 to 5 times every single day, which you should be by the way, then it's just really difficult that you're actually going to be capturing enough attention from your audience. The lifespan of a Facebook post is about 5 hours until it completely disappears, and this is on your personal profile, not on your business profile. The average lifespan of an Instagram post is 48 hours, and the lifespan of a tweet is just 18 minutes. I highly suggest that wine brands be looking to other platforms like Pinterest, which the content on that platform has a lifespan of a year or even more. Another platform is YouTube. The lifespan is never ending. And what's great about these two platforms as well, Pinterest and YouTube, is that they're both SEO optimized. That means that when people are typing in Google looking for an answer to something, it is also linked to your YouTube and also Pinterest. So people can still find your website and your accounts through Google, which does not happen with Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. Anyways, I just suggest that wine brands be leaning more towards content on those types of platforms. Even if you need a little bit more time to be creating content for those two platforms, you're gonna get so much more bang for your buck, and the energy that you're putting into the content, you're also gonna be getting back out. Mistake number 3 is having a set and forget mentality. Too often I see wineries and wine brands leveraging things like Planoly and schedulers and creating the content maybe once a month, leaving it in the scheduler and just letting it go out to the cyberspace. The content that actually performs best is the content that you are creating day to day and in the moment. And here's why. A huge part of social media is reacting to pop culture, it's reacting to the engagement from your followers, it's listening to the world around you and creating content that is engaging in a conversation with them in that current moment. If you're leaving stuff on your scheduler for a month or so, then something could happen in the world, some sort of tragic world event, and you could have a post that goes out that is really inappropriate. This can be completely damaging for your brand. Really don't want to be having a set and forget mentality. Mistake number 4, which it pains me, is when brands focus too much on having curated, professional, and perfect imagery and assets and content. If you look at the best performing brands on social media in all of the industries, you'll notice that it is the raw, authentic, behind the scenes and real relatable content that seems to be the most successful. Gone are the days of the perfectly curated Instagram feed. Back are the days of Instagram reality. Now, I'm not saying that your content shouldn't be quality driven. I'm just saying that it doesn't need to be so magazine driven and cold and, cutting your audience off from having a real connection. Mistake number 5 is having absolutely no strategy in their social media marketing, or having a strategy and then continuing with the strategy even when it's not working. If you're doing social media correctly, every single post and every single message has a purpose and a point. And more importantly, it's all leading back to one common business goal. Looking at your platforms as one huge marketing ecosystem as opposed to separate entities is going to massively up-level your results. Now, mistake number 6, which might sound a little bit on the contrary, is not sticking with one strategy for long enough in order to see its results. I recently worked with a winery and I set up a 3-month strategy that is based on proven results and success in my career as a social media marketer and strategist, and they let me go after just 2 weeks. Guys, 2 weeks is not long enough to see out a strategy and to make legitimate business decisions. I personally like to work between 1 month and a quarter blocks, so 3 months, in order to really test out a part of a strategy. But typically with myself and my clients, we will look at the strategy as an annual goal, and we will break that down into quarter goals and also monthly goals. That's one way to see if the strategy is working and a good time frame to know when you need to pivot and make changes. Mistake number 7 is not analyzing their results. So you should be setting a time, a day, every single month, a couple of hours every single month to really be tracking all of your metrics, to be looking at all of your content and nitpicking through what went well, what didn't go well, what induced the most amount of engagement, which content induced the most amount of shares, and then again comparing those results to your monthly and yearly goals to see if you are on the right track. Mistake number 8 is not showing the face and the people behind the winery or behind the brand. Believe it or not, this is one of the number 1 pieces of content that your audience is really asking for. I recently did a survey with a ton of wine lovers, and they gave me the feedback that there was too much content based on the product and the wine and not enough content based on the people and the humanization and the stories of the lives behind the brand. Mistake number 9 is creating content based on what you want to share as opposed to what your audience is asking and seeking. I need to put this frankly, guys. No one cares about what you want to share. I'm gonna put this frankly, guys. If you are basing your content based off the things that you think your audience wants, or actually not even that, if you are creating content based on what you want to give, what you like to share, and the photos you like to take and the content you like to write about, then chances are you're really missing the mark with being able to speak to your target customer and avatar. So many of the times when I find myself working with a client, they have questions about the type of content that we are putting out there, and they don't understand that there is a very deep analyzation that goes on behind the scenes when we do create content on behalf of brands to really understand who their customer is, what they like, what their values are, what their daily habits are, and the content that we create is for that customer. It's not for the client or the brand. Going through that mindset shift is really, really important, and you're going to see such better results when you start crafting content for the customer as opposed to crafting content based on what you want to be sharing. So mistake number 10 is not taking enough risks with marketing. See, a a lot of businesses trapped in a very, very corporate and professional approach, which is just not social media. Social media is about being daring. It's about taking risks. It's about being real. It's about testing the boundaries. It's about polarizing your audience. It's about having an opinion. It's about sharing your values. And these kind of things just don't work with a corporate filter blasted on top of them. I dare you to do something a little bit risky today. Whether that's creating a TikTok for your business or sharing something vulnerable about yourself or some of the people behind the business, or sharing some of the pitfalls and the problems that you're facing. You know, just bringing this real human element that all of us feel is really going to help you connect with your audience and allow them to trust you and then possibly become a future customer. So if you found one of these mistakes resonating with you, then don't worry. Be proud and celebrate the fact that you are going to make a change in your social media so you can up-level your business today. If you are looking for further guidance and support, then be sure to check out the Crush It Social Media Academy, which I have linked conveniently in the bio below for you guys. And until then, I'm going to keep on analyzing different wineries and wine brands out there, and I'll be sure to share with you guys any of the tips and tricks that I am learning. So make sure that you subscribe to this channel if you do like this kind of content, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Ciao for now.